The old and traditional way of beekeeping was practiced through crude extraction method. This unhealthy practice led to killing of large number of bees in the process.
I am practicing beekeeping for quite some time now, but it was not serving me any good. The honey collected would garner a meager rupees 4 to 5 from the sale.
Beekeeping in traditional methods in the forest area, they are keeping their log hives and doing this beekeeping, and they are keeping for 1.5 months in their forest area, then they bring it into their home, and after 1 year they get the harvesting. But the result was very poor. They are getting only 5 to 6 kgs in a year.
The villagers are heavily dependent on natural resources and agriculture for their livelihood. Agrarian community is totally dependent on income from the crop. Ironically, most of their elevated lands could not be brought under cultivation for want of suitable crop. This meant that livelihood became a huge problem. Youths of the village migrated to neighboring states for petty jobs as security guards and hotel boys.
People livelihood was very poor. There are some insurgency problems over there also, and they are not getting any support how to go ahead for their livelihood activities. So we found that it will be a good opportunity for us.
NABARD DDM took a notice of the situation and identified the potential and scope of beekeeping as livelihood. NABARD, under Rural Innovation Fund, initiated a project for farmers.
In this meeting, you will be informed about the new method of beekeeping. We'll explain the safety of the method and also how the extracted honey will fetch you better returns.
Albert Einstein has said that if the bee disappeared off the face of the earth, man would have only 4 years left to live. Also, the use of pesticides in farms is not only killing the bees, but other insects too. In a way, we are to be blamed for their extinction.
Many beekeepers ceased from their traditional way of beekeeping and in the process lost their livelihood. The beekeepers were made aware, trained for scientific rearing of beekeeping. Once a set of beekeepers got streamlined, many farmers came forward to adopt the new inputs and restart beekeeping, which was scientific and unlike the previously carried unhealthy traditional method, which led to killing of many bees and left the environment unclean. one welcome transformation is women folk and youngsters are now engaged in scientific beekeeping business, which earlier was looked down upon. They also started making bee boxes, which is of great use in scientific method of beekeeping. After getting aware of the possibilities, the farmers opted for horticulture instead of monocropping. This move enabled them to be less dependent on paddy crops. Besides this, the elevated lands are now being brought under floriculture, where commercially viable flowers are cultivated. Chief amongst them is tuberose. The interventions in livelihood led to increase in production of honey. This propelled NABARD and the FPO to foray into food processing sector. The honey produced in abundance was packaged. Khamri honey is the packaged product now being available in local and national markets.
NABARD's intervention has helped us earn more. In past, it was Rs 50 and now we earn Rs 300 for 1 kg of honey.
The changes have impacted the earnings of the farmers substantially and given them a powerful dose of confidence in their capabilities.